Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An Rh negative mother carrying an Rh positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every Rh negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to the Outside View presented by Women's Crick Zone and brought to you by BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, MRI Hospitals and NPL Sports Foundation. They say that once you choose hope, then everything is possible. And probably these two teams have followed this template in this tournament. South Africa and England are going to play the second semi-final in this tournament. So far, we've seen some really close games, and South Africa have been a part of quite a few. So to discuss this match, I have alongside me Dane and Julia. Welcome, both of you. So, of course, West Indies and Australia will lock horns with each other for the first semi-final. That was a dramatic entry for West Indies after the South Africa game. But coming to you, Dane, of course, first, the game between India and South Africa. South Africa had already made it to the top four, but the way that they were playing that match, it was more important for India. But then South Africa were playing as if everything and every hope of them was riding on that particular game. And Mignon du Preez coming in her rhythm, we saw her hit those winning runs. What were your thoughts, and how were you settling your nerves when you were watching that game?
Yeah, I couldn't settle my nerves. I don't think I've settled my nerves this whole World Cup. That's the problem at the moment. I'm trying to figure out how to settle my nerves. But no, I think the match didn't ride on anything but momentum and confidence. You know, I said in the pre-match, I said the team needs to chase this for a really good confidence going into the semi-final. So, you know, yes, it wasn't a must win for South Africa, but in my opinion, it was, chasing 270 odd against a very good Indian attack, bar obviously Julan, that was a massive hit for them. But, doing that going into semi-finals, for me, that was massive for them. So obviously very proud. Very biased and very proud. We had a chat after the game, Julia, but I was very proud. But it meant more than any other game, just going into a semi-final against England that has gone about their job very, we haven't spoken about them, have we? Julia can jump in, but we haven't really spoken about England. At the start, we're like, oh, okay, they're done for the World Cup, and we're not going to speak about them. And they've just been slowly going about their job, and they won 4-4. And so I think for South Africa's momentum, their confidence, brilliant game, in my opinion. Great chase. Mignon gave me 3 heart attacks, but I'm glad she's in form again. I messaged her afterwards. I said, you're a legend in your own right. But so I was very happy for her, but they can stop giving me heart attacks.
They should probably. It's the last game, and we'll hope that you don't get any other heart attacks. But you agree to that, Julia? This was probably a game that South Africa wanted to, get that confidence of chasing down that big total ahead of the semi-finals and then probably the finals.
Yeah, for sure. I think I love the way that they went about that, because, like Dane said, they didn't actually have to win it. But the fact is that they are now so they love winning, and they want to keep winning, and it doesn't matter when or where it is. They're just going to try and win as many games as possible. And by doing that, obviously they knocked out India, which is a big win for everyone, because we all know how dangerous the Indians can be as well. So, but about England, I feel like you're right. We have been pretty quiet on them, but I suppose the fact is that they missed. They dropped their 3 first games. And those 3 first games that they dropped against the other people that are left in the semi-finals. So they haven't actually won a game against any of the teams that are in the semi-finals at the moment. However, they have started to sort of regather themselves and get a little bit of momentum and probably beaten, teams that are considered lower in that top 8. So to me, I just think South Africa's in probably a...
I guess there's some technical issue with Julia. Of course, we'll get her back. Until then, a lot of agony, a lot of excitement, a lot of nervousness was what we witnessed in India versus South Africa. And as our experts rightly put that for us, so as to how that match unfolded. But let's have a quick look at the head-to-head stats as well to see how South Africa and England have fared when they faced each other in the ODI format. Of course, they've played 39 matches. South Africa have won 9, England 29, and a match did not produce any result. But history has no takers. It's a one-off game, and of course, both the teams should have their spirits high. Coming to you, Dane, with this, you were talking about England. Probably you're saying that we haven't spoken enough of England, the way that they carried themselves, of course. So they did not have a very good start to the tournament. They came from ashes. They faced defeat against Australia there, lost their 3 matches, and then they knew the next 4 games are going to be must win for them. And they won every other match that came, 4 in a row, and they are into the semis. How do you put their journey?
Yeah, look, we speak about the defending champions. You know, they're the defending champions for a reason. And they've showed that. You know, they're going to fight. They're going to fight to stay in this tournament, and they've showed just that. And as I mentioned, just they're going slowly about their work, quietly. Sorry, not slowly, but quietly about their work. And you know, we've spoken about the England. We spoke, about Australia. We've spoken about India. We've spoken about even New Zealand. You know, and they just quietly, you know, England just went about their work, 4-4, and yeah. And I said at the start, beware the wounded animal. And, you know, yes, they lost against South Africa, and everybody was like, oh, that's doom and gloom. You know, that's their tournament. They are done. And they just showed to end up in, you know, credit to them, 100%, to end up at 3rd, not even 4th. They didn't slide in, you know, at 3rd. That is a massive, you know, feather in their cap. So I have to give credit where it's due, and well done to them. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting semi-final. I'm quietly nervous as well.
Quite nervous, Dane, but of course, coming to you, Julia, of course, with England's journey in this tournament, we probably, a lot of people wrote them off. They were like, England, the defending champions, did not have a good outing in the Ashes as well, lost their first 3 games, but they knew how to bounce back.
Yeah, I was one of those people that wrote them off, in fact, but even before the tournament, because they weren't actually. You're right, you're delirious there, Dane. But I only wrote England off because I knew New Zealand were in such good form. So I knew that they had still bounced back and they're a quality team. I just felt that New Zealand were probably in slightly better form, and that's why I picked them to get into the semi-finals ahead of England. But, you know, full credit, as you said, that once they beat India, I think they sort of went, okay, sanity's restored and we can get back on track and start working on what we're doing. And they've really shown that they've got really good depth in their batting with, you know, right down to Sophia Dunkley, and even Sophie Ecclestone's being fantastic, one of the highest scorers in that position. And I think their bowling attack is pretty good as well. They've really got a nice balance to their group now. So yeah, there's certainly no pushovers, and it's going to be another heart stopper for you, Dane. Sorry.
I can't take anymore. That's the problem. I don't know how many I can take. I said to them, just give me one game. Just give me one game where I can go to bed early. That's actually what or not early, but late, but early.
Relaxed and early.
Yes.
Of course. And of course, not talk about the key performers and the players that have impressed us the most from England and South Africa. If I have to come to you, Dane, first, from the South African unit, we of course know that Laura Wolfart has been in terrific form. We saw Ayabonga Kaka, of course, the pace trio, Marizan Kapp with both the ball and the bat. Who has impressed you the most, and who do you think is going to play a very important role in this much-awaited encounter?
I know why Julia was just smiling the whole time. That's why she actually had the answer before you asked the question. Listen, no, look, I had a really good conversation with Shabnam Ismail after the previous game. I won't say the words because it was pretty impressive, but yeah, I was so impressed with her. I just said to him, well, again, not going to say the words, but I just said to her, you've got a lot of energy and power. But no, look, I think that the trio is massive for South Africa. They've won games off the back of their bowling. Laura Wolford, I don't have to speak about Laura Wolford because I messaged her yesterday. I said to her, just 28 runs, but just 28. That's it. You just give us 28 runs, and you're a legend. And she's a legend within her own right. At 22, that freaks me out a little bit. I thought I was okay in cricket. I thought Julia was okay in cricket, but this kid's gonna show us obviously. But no, Laura Wolford, obviously massive. Lazali, I picked her the previous game. I was obviously upset that she got run out. She's due for a score. And then obviously Marizon, she's a match winner in her own right. Not because of my wife, Julia, but she has been, I'm not saying carrying the team, don't get me wrong at all. I'm saying that, she's had some ice cold innings that I would probably run away from. She's won games off the back of her bat and her bowling, but I think the trio, Ayabonga Kaka, Marizon Cup, Shabnam Ismail, massive. But I said in the previous review, I said England's not going to sit idle. They are going to make sure that they have their plans in place after the previous game. So they are the defending champions for a reason, in my opinion.
Definitely defending champions for a reason. And Julia, about the England setup now, we've seen some impressive performances coming in from Sophie Eccleston, Charlie Dean as well, Tammy Beaumont in the initial stages of the match, Nat Siver and Sophia Dunkley in the last game as well. So who do you think will be playing a very important role against South Africa there, and who has impressed you the most in this entire group stage matches?
Well, I think it probably depends if they actually pick. I know they didn't pick Anya Shropsall in the previous game, and I know that she's actually picked up Lizelle Lee 4 times, and she also averages 19.52 again, and has picked up 21 wickets against South Africa in one day. So it'll be an interesting decision if they decide to leave her out. They went with Freya Davies the other day. She got a couple of wickets, and I thought she was great. But that to me will be pretty interesting if they play her or not. She's been tried and true in the past, but is it time to start looking for that future, and is this the game to do that? But as you mentioned, I mean, Eccleston's been outstanding, gets really nice bounce because of her height, and she's picked up 14 wickets so far. And between her and Charlie Dean, who's really grown in this tournament, I think the spin attack will be quite interesting to see how they go against the South African batters and really take it up to them, because obviously that South Africa's attack, as good as it is with that pace attack, we keep talking about this, it's still a little bit same. We've got 3 really good pace bowlers in our classes back, is fantastic, but there's still no real spinner in there, which I think may be to the detriment of South Africa, because I think that could be the difference between the two teams, with England not having to face too much spin on a deck that's doesn't mind a bit of spin.
Okay, then. Let's now get the playing 11 for the semi-final 2 from both our experts to see what could be the outfits that we'll get to witness from both the sides. So we'll come to Dane first. Dane, Lara Goodall played the last game. Tasmin Brits was, of course, not the part of the side. We got Masabata Class in. So what do you think is going to be the playing 11 for South Africa in this very important game?
My honest opinion, I don't think South Africa is going to change. Yeah, the number 3 we have spoken about, but Laura Goodall again. In the preview, I said I was probably overcritical. She batted really well. She's a very good player of spin, so I think maybe that comes into the fold. But I don't think South Africa is going to change. I'd be surprised if they do. I think Masabata Class has come in and played actually a very good role. When you think about this, the trio, we speak about the trio, and then Masabata Class, you want that spinner, but she also, again, has been quietly going about her business and being very effective, economical, and taking wickets. So yeah, I don't think South Africa is going to change. I'm biased. I would like to see a spinner in there, but why change a winning combination? And I'd like to see Laura just taking the confidence the way she batted against India. She didn't take many balls. She helped Wolfie, Laura Wolford. She helped her. There was no pressure on Laura, and that's why they scored so freely. I think their partnership was above, I think, 110 strike rate. So it was great to see, great to watch. So yes, I'm going to stay with, I think, the same playing 11, and good luck to the team.
Okay, then why make changes in the winning team? And we're going to probably see the same team that we saw against India is what Danny thinks. And then about the England playing 11, are we going to get Anya Shrubsole? Will we witness her in this game, or the team will go with Freya Davies, who picked up 2 wickets? Probably, as Julia has already told. She has already given us the stats as to how she has asked difficult questions to Laura Wilford, if I was not wrong. No, Liz Ellie it was, Liz Ellie. So let's see what Julia predicts the playing 11 for England.
Well, I'm going to go with they stick with the team from the last game, which is Freya Davies in instead of Anya Shrubsole.
That's a big call, Julia.
No, it's a big call. But I mean, Anya's picked up 4 wickets for this entire tournament, so I don't know. I just don't think she's been on her best for this tournament. I just think Freya comes in and picks up 2. She's not as she still brings the ball in, but just with her natural angle and her technique. So I think she's still attacking the stumps. Doesn't get the big hooping swing like Anya does, but I think that can still be, useful for the English girls. And she's good in the field as well, Freya Davies, and pretty handy with the bat as well. So to me, that would be my one change. Charlie Dean's been fantastic. She's picked up 10 wickets this tournament. So to me, no one else really should change. Maybe just the Freya Davies for me, but we'll see what happens. How much anyone can convince them to pick Anya Shrubsole. But I'm sort of trying to Lisa Kitely's hat on and seeing what people think.
Did you message Lisa? What's that?
She's brushing me. She's not even talking to me.
What is the English coach now?
Okay, then we've got the predicted playing 11s from both our experts. South Africa, of course, a lot of close matches, and Dane doesn't want to witness any other close match. Just she wants to relax and enjoy the game. And England, of course, lost their 3 matches, but made it all after winning the 4 of the remaining matches, and they've made it to the top 4. After West Indies and Australia, this is what the encounter that we're going to get to witness between England and South Africa, the defending champions, versus the team that has shown some real character on the field, winning the games, finding the ways to win the games. And it would be interesting to see how the action unfolds. We'll, of course, join you for the pre, mid, and post shows of England versus South Africa as well. Until then, you stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone for all the updates on women's cricket.